This week we're speaking all about the advantages of bringing more greens into our diet, the benefits to the body, and some of the situations that can be alleviated by using them. Hi, this is Matt.
And this is Nuala, and we're from Evolve Health Store in Enniscorthy. And as Matt said, we're going to talk about the powerful greens that we can take. And the good news is you don't have to take them all in vegetable form. But we want to know why. Why do we take things like spirulina and chlorophyll and all of these wonderful greens? What is the story? So what is the story, Matt?
Okay, yeah, and I think it's a good news story, and it starts off, I think, with when we're taking greens in our diet. So we're taking our green vegetables, our broccoli, our cabbage, our kale, all of those, and then of course lettuce and all of the salad vegetables. All of those help our body to control its acidity level. The pH, as we refer to it, that is a big tool that you're giving to your body in order for it to control acidity and all of the problems that come along from acid issues. And that's where it gets very interesting, because it's a surprising link that there is between a whole lot of apparently completely different conditions, and acidity is there as the driver of all of them.
And a lot of people don't really associate acid with alkalizing your system. They don't associate acid with anything, only reflux or heartburn.
Or gout.
But they don't, gout.
Yeah.
But they don't see it really as a digestive disorder.
Yes.
That they can have inflammation all over their body because of having an over acidic system. And so I think if we want to share with you our knowledge on taking greens as a supplement, if you don't really want to go down the road of
if you're just, would say, failing on the job a little bit in terms of how much greens you're getting into your diet, well, then what we can say is, okay, keep doing your best on the dietary side of it, and then we can bring in a bit of extra concentrated greens in powder form, capsule, tablet form, even liquid form. So we can bring more in, and now you have a chance to tip the balance in your favour.
Now there's another thing that people don't understand either, Matt, is uric acid and the whole urinary tract infection, and don't understand that when we say to them you must give up sugar and tea and coffee and very, very acidic foods, they're like, what? I thought I'm just on an antibiotic. I thought that should just do.
Yeah, true. And it's a fascinating one when you start to see that connection, because the acidity drives inflammation, and it's one of those things that is linking your urinary tract situation there to equally your joint pain, to equally your skin being inflamed and red. All of those conditions which we'll say are connected by heat or sensations of heat, they're all helped and cooled down by the more greens that you're bringing in. And as Nuala is suggesting there, the other one that's very often forgotten there is, of course, our sugars. So the sweet foods are being, in a sense, converted to an acidic waste in the body, and that acidic waste then is what's driving the conditions that you have no connection, that there's a sugar issue there.
It's true. I mean, I often have people who come into the shop and they're after being on an antibiotic for a UTI, and then it's back because they haven't changed anything. And maybe the tomatoes are in full bloom, or the strawberries, there's a lot, and they're eating a lot of the same kind of acidic. Chocolate is very acidic. I find if I eat chocolate, I get heartburn after it. So that's not good news for a woman. But it's...
Yeah, and it might be interesting if we were to quickly run through a quick list of what we'll call acidic foods. Top of my list on that one is orange juice. I find that so many people start their day off with the orange juice, saying, oh, okay, I'm getting some vitamin C here, it's a lovely bit of freshness from the orange. However, I find that it's a troublemaker for lots and lots of people, and I keep counselling people not to bring that in there. Maybe if you're going out for a walk, you'll get away with it immediately after you drink some. But other than that, I don't think that it's a great idea for somebody in Ireland. So if you say orange juice, we're talking about tomatoes, we're talking about rhubarb, we're talking about the sugary foods.
We're talking about coffee and tea.
Indeed we are.
Black tea especially, but especially now I think a lot of people who are reared on tea are okay, but there's some people who cannot take coffee. It burns the stomach out of them. And then you have all sorts of, as you said, other little ailments that are happening, and it's all because your alkaline and acidic are not in balance. So we're going to talk about now products that you can use that will balance that acid. Yeah. So if you're somebody who's always got acid reflux, acid tummy, rawness in the stomach, digestive problems, think about taking a supplement like green barley grass.
Lovely product altogether.
This is a capsule, so it's easy to take.
Yeah. So you can. So what they're doing is they're squeezing the juice out of the fresh young barley plant, as it's maybe 6, 7, 8 inches or so. Taking that, squeezing the juice out, and then drying that juice into a powder, into a capsule, and you've got something then which is all and purely a green extract, and it has a terrific cooling effect in the body, both for acidy tummies and then for the generality of all acid conditions that we're talking about there earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, if you've any sort of an acidic related disorder, your barley grass is your man. And if it's really in your stomach, you can try slippery elm with it. It's a very good product to go hand in hand with that. You can also get a slippery elm powder that makes into a paste, and it's very soothing.
Yeah.
And L-glutamine, which is in Matt's good bacteria, because I really feel at this stage we should all be on a good probiotic, good bacteria to help with that situation as well.
Yeah,
and we also have tea, that you can drink for instead of your black tea or your coffee when you have like a UTI going on or a bladder infection or something. You can take your uric tea.
Yeah, and obviously the gout is going to be in that category there as well with all of that issue.
And we always say that we always have a lot of gout after Christmas because everyone is after eating too many fruitcakes and mince pies, and they're full of acid. And dairy is full of acid. It can be very acidic, even though everyone thinks it's
despite its reputation.
Yes. It actually, beef can be very acidic.
Yes.
And so that's kind of the stomach
area.
thing.
Yes.
And then we have the skin, Matt.
Yes, exactly.
And what the skin? Sorry, I'm just getting the product here.
Well, you've got options there on the skin, and everything that we've said so far is going to apply to the skin. In that we need to avoid the acid. Now, when we talk about the skin, we're talking about the inflammatory type ones. So it's specifically psoriasis, eczema, those type of red, inflamed skin conditions will all be made worse by more acid, and will all be improved for the most part by less sugars, less acidy issues, and then if we can bring in more greens that are going to cool the blood down.
And if you have kind of like lots of red around this part of your face,
acne rosacea type situation,
this product is absolutely brilliant for this. It's liquid chlorophyll, and it is probably one of the best things that you can take for all of that skin problem, that skin irritation, that skin redness. So if it's going on in your skin and it's going on in your stomach, you need barley grass and chlorophyll. But if it's just one, just go for the barley grass or chlorophyll. So we'll see. And then, Matt, you'd like to talk about spirulina.
So if we talk then about in a sense a positive type situation, let's talk about green energy. And for that, I really love spirulina. I think it's a marvellous instant boost of energy which comes without a cost. It's all benefit, whereas if we talk about maybe, not to slag off coffee too much, but the boost that we get from caffeine, you inevitably tend to pay for it later when you get the kind of crash and you come down and you feel flat. With spirulina, it's not like that. Spirulina gives you a lift, but it just keeps on giving. There's no crash after it. It's not a stimulant as tea and coffee would be. It's simply green, easy to access energy. So you're going to have the cooling effect of it, and also but the energy lift usually will kick in even the same day. So I would often say to people, that little bag that Nuala showed there has actually 500 tablets in it. So you can afford to be taking plenty, and I'd be saying to people 5 in the morning with your breakfast, 5 at midday, and stop at that stage. Don't be going for the evening one, because you might need to go out dancing that night or something in order to burn off the energy. So yeah, morning, midday, and then let's see how it goes.
And sometimes we're just sluggish because we have toxins, and we have things like heavy metal toxins. Now, we always recommend the black water detox, so if you want to give yourself a good detox, use that. But you can also use the power greens as well, which is a combination of many of the greens. So if you just wanted to, you didn't have any problems with you're a bit sluggish, you could take the power greens and you get your wheatgrass and your barley grass in those. And I think that's it for today.
I think that is largely it, and I think it's enough to be going on with, because actually that's a big chunk of information there. And I think if you can get your head around that and dabble with it a little bit, even the easiest one to start with would be the spirulina. It's so easy to engage with and get that little bit of an energy boost, and you're still getting a little bit of nice kind of cooling for your blood as well. Would be where I'd start, and then experiment from there.
And even if there was absolutely nothing wrong with you, it would be wonderful to take some greens.
Yeah.
So until next time, cheerio.
Bye for now.